I'm John Boswell. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm basically get paid to tell people they're not crazy. And what I mean by that is that I work with people and just kind of recognizing that the way you're reacting to all the stuff going on in the world with the shootings and violence and crime and politics and all of that is actually probably pretty normal. Just kind of help you get more well adjusted to it. So I'm a licensed psychotherapist. That's what I do.
All right. And how long have you been doing therapy, or how long did you have to go to school for all your different certifications? Because I see you're like very licensed.
Oh, you should ask me how much money I spent.
Ah!
But most therapists, we do about 6 years of college. So you do 6 years of college and then 2 years post grad to get licensed. So think of almost like a lawyer's or physician's assistant's amount of education,
Yeah.
just about that. So about 8 years total, I would say altogether. But I've been practicing for almost 8 years now.
Oh wow, that's so awesome. Um,
Thanks. Well, I'll tell you about the different levels of therapy, so to speak. So when we talk about psychotherapy, mental health, psychology, it's all really the same thing. Um, so there's different types of therapists. You have marriage and family therapists. You have licensed clinical social workers. You have mental health counselors. We all do the same thing, psychologists. We all sit down and help people. It's just we may have different educational backgrounds, but we all pretty much do the same thing. The big difference is when you're looking at a psychotherapist, which is kind of a catch-all term for all of us, and a psychiatrist is a psychiatrist or medical doctors. So they literally go to med school and they can prescribe medication to you to help your mood. You may not necessarily need to see a psychiatrist, and that's going to be more so an extreme case. We're kind of here to help you through the talk therapy portion. So what we would do is we sit down with you for an hour, let you vent, let sit down with you, look at patterns in your life, look at things that we can work to break those patterns, kind of get you feeling better, look at solutions. Psychiatrists who are medical doctors, their job is to sit with you for about 10 or 15 minutes, assess you, and say, okay, well, these are meds that'll help you for depression. Not saying psychiatrists are bad, because some people need both, and that's okay too. Ideally, what happens is you maybe use both in conjunction in some cases, and we will do the therapy with you to help you get better and get you to a point where you don't need the meds at all anymore. So that's usually how it works.
yes. And what are some like amazing steps that can be taken once they get like to a level where they don't have to take meds anymore? Or are there other methods or better like holistic methods that they could take?
So there are natural holistic methods. I'm not a holistic practitioner, so I'm not even gonna like BS you and try to come up with stuff. What I always say though is sit with your doctor, see if medication is a route that you want to go, because it's not for everybody. And it's not the end all be all. Not everybody, again, not all everyone needs medication. You know, certain illnesses, like if you told me that, again, not all everyone needs medication. You know, certain illnesses, like if you told me that you're schizophrenic and you're hallucinating, well, unfortunately, the only solution we really have for that is medication. You'll do talk therapy too, but talk therapy alone is not going to fix that. However, the idea is to kind of get you to talk with your doctor and kind of see what's appropriate for you and your lifestyle. If you're not a medication kind of person, that's okay. You're not going to take it. No one should force anything on you. Um, but you can do lifestyle changes, absolutely. Working out, keeping drama out of your life, having a good support system, friends and family, eating right, because our bodies and our minds are directly connected. So what I eat, how I take care of myself, that affects self-esteem. That's going to affect my thought process. It's going to affect the biology of my brain. Doing the things that you probably should be doing anyway, or things that are going to help your mental health as well.
So that is totally awesome. So, what are some things that you do to keep your mental steady, to keep yourself feeling great and just go on with your day?
I hit the gym when I sit with clients, and sometimes it's like you want to shake them and you know what you think is best for them. They are the master of their own lives, and it's their lives. So I'm only here to kind of help guide you and give you the advice, but I don't let that bog me down. If you choose to take it, it's up to you. Um, a lot of people have been coming in to me, a lot of my clients today, talking about the recent shooting that happened, and that's one of the things I do to kind of protect my mental health, which is horrible, horrible thing with the shooting. Is to try to limit my intake of things that are negative. So I'm aware of it. I know what's kind of going on in the world, but I'm not looking at every detail of the case. What happened? What was the mental state of this person? How many people were killed? So all this is going to do is bog me down, right? It
Yeah.
really does nothing but upset you. I tell a lot of people, don't watch the news. If you're a sensitive person, do not watch the news. I make
Yeah.
it the next morning. What I do is I go look at the headlines and in the newspaper and kind of see what's going on. So I know we're not at war. I know the major stuff, but I don't need to take all that in because it's just going to make you sad.
Oh yeah, and then it also makes like people like me. It makes me start like just like you said, diving into like what happened, what city it
Mm-hmm.
was, what school it was.
It's like a
And
train wreck, right? Yep.
yeah,
You can't look away. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it kind of upset me like a lot today.
Yeah.
Well, mainly actually yesterday, like early morning, because I was up at like
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 a.m. So like I'm all like trying to work and focus on peppermint oils, anxiety, lavender, and then
Mm-hmm.
over like looking at all the cute little kids because I'm actually an early childhood education teacher.
No.
So
Oh gosh,
I've
that's gonna hit
been,
hard. Yeah.
and I also work with organizations, and we deal with these type of things, like all the stress that everybody has gone through, which goes into the next question. Before this event happened, how has COVID been affecting your patients? Like the stress of staying home, like within those, like let's just say the last 2 years, from
Mm-hmm.
the from the beginning to now,
Mm-hmm.
how has it like gotten better or worse or?
It's gotten a lot better as far as how it seems to be affecting my patients, and I think that's just all of us are kind of adjusted to it at this point, in a lot of sense. During the pandemic, I saw a range. I saw people who were completely afraid of it and said, "I'm afraid to leave the house. I'm afraid to do things. I'm nervous I'm going to get it." I was OCD before this, and now I'm really OCD now.
Me too.
Um, I've heard people saying
I,
that.
I can give people like a tour of my studio at any moment. Like it's
Yeah,
always clean.
yeah. Good for you. Good for you. That's good. And I
Yeah.
had other people in the other extreme was like, I don't believe it at all. It doesn't. It's not real, and the whole world's panicking over nothing, and it's not a big deal, and it's not as contagious as they say, and stuff like that. There were a lot of people who were just saying, I'm dying from the isolation
Yeah.
and not being able to communicate. Yeah, it was hard on a lot of people.
Yeah.
I, I know I worked from home for part of it, and just not having that structure of getting up every day and getting dressed was like, I'm starting to lose it my own self. Just doing video sessions and not having to go to an office and dress up.
You know
Yeah,
what?
it's difficult.
You know what I did to keep my mental like
What'd you do?
good through the entire COVID? Okay,
What's
so like
that?
I was working from home because I was doing organization work and just the PR marketing work.
Mm-hmm.
Also like teaching English online. So
Oh wow.
everything was online and I'm making like great money. Everything was fine. But I needed to be outside every day. So I actually started being a driver and I started driving and doing all the like deliveries and
Yeah.
I would just get out, enjoy the air, and at this time I'm like in LA. I'm enjoying the highways, not having to deal with traffic, and I was just picking up big orders and dropping them off to people,
Nice.
and it was just extra money coming in on my,
Yeah.
and I didn't even need it. So that became the money I spent, and the money I was making from like my work, my
Uh huh.
actual work. Those checks were just sitting, getting saved up through the year.
That's smart.
Yeah, and so I was gig driving, and it just kept me focused. I saw people every now and then, like, so if I went to the first class restaurants or if I had to go to Amazon and pick up deliveries, I'd see those people. So that would help my communication. Hello, bye bye. Even though we were far from each other, they, deliver the packages.
Yeah.
I put them in my car, and then the people, when you leave it at the door, of
Uh
course, when
huh.
you walk away a little bit, they'd be so happy to see you. Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was so funny to see like how people reacted to things. Like
Yeah.
people had Lysol, they were spraying their boxes down, they were taking everything,
Hmm.
wiping it down with wipes. It was
It was
one,
wild, right?
yeah, one great thing that happened from that was how people became more self-conscious of their cleanliness.
Yeah, that's
That's
true. That is true. I know I did. I know Dr. Fauci said we'll probably never shake hands again because it's really a terrible thing as far as spreading germs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's, and that's what I found for people that dealt with it the best. And that really goes for improving your mental health as far as anything goes, is being adaptable.
right.
So, my opinion about COVID, for instance,
Okay.
being
Yeah.
flexible is so important because what happens is my opinion about the pandemic and things being shut down, it doesn't change anything. I can think things should be
Right.
open, but it doesn't matter. It's not open. So a big part of adaptability is kind of accepting things as they are. Okay, I have no power over this, but what can I do? And that's what you did in that instance, is that you got flexible. That's good. My clients that were
Yeah.
flexible and said, okay, well, we don't have toilet paper, but I'm going to find napkins, or I'm going to do something else, or I can't socialize this way, I'm going to socialize that way. They tend to be less depressed. They tend to be have a better spirit about it, more optimistic, and are
Yeah.
able to kind of deal with things.
What I don't like about it is everything that they're about to try to do again now. Like now, how the children are not getting the proper food.
Right.
But some mothers are now. They're going and they're boiling apples and they're mushing and they're making.
Yep.
Yeah, they're doing
There
it the
you
right
go.
way now anyway.
There
So,
you go.
but
You
it's
got
like,
that.
yeah. All right. So, are you into like peppermint oils, almond oils, like eating certain foods for your mental?
So I do like essential oils. I'm just starting to kind of get into them. So I personally like peppermint. I like lavender. I
Okay.
don't really know which ones are the best ones.
Hmm.
So I just been kind of experimenting, but it does help. I even did a TikTok a few weeks ago. You see it on my page about how the sense of smell. So our sense of smell is our strongest
Oh, yeah,
sense.
I saw that
Catch
one.
the memory. Yep.
Put it in a Ziploc bag.
Yes. Exactly.
Whenever you're getting anxiety, you're getting stressed
There.
out,
You
and
got
it
it.
feel better. I'm definitely gonna
Yes.
do that
Give it a shot. Let me know how it works for you.
because I literally like. Hold on. I literally keep them with me everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
so
for you.
and especially this one because it has like clove and lavender and all of that. I'll
Oh,
just
that sounds good. That sounds good.
yeah, I'll just place a little here or put a little on my neck, on my
Uh huh.
temple, and that is, believe it or not, it's like really awesome and it
And it
helps
helps.
a lot. Yeah, a good sense
That.
of smell keeps you feeling good and like kind of relaxed at home.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I get sleepy. I'm so relaxed. So
That's good.
yeah.
The
So
and eating right, just eating healthy, you feel better. When you eat crappy, you feel worse.
yeah,
Simple as that. It's not. I mean, there's science behind it and all that good stuff, but I mean, it's really that simple. And you
yeah,
make it a little rush from eating sugar or the bad stuff, the stuff that tastes good, but
yeah,
you crash immediately after.
yeah, and it gives you really bad anxiety and depression too.
Absolutely. I always tell my clients when I first have a client come in, we do something called a biopsychosocial assessment, and it just stands for your biological, your psychological, and your social. We're assessing all those areas of your life and see how they're contributing.
Hmm.
So one of the things I look at when they tell me I'm in anxiety and I'm always nervous is caffeine intake. How much caffeine are you taking in? That really is a huge contributor for a lot of people.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me think back about 7 or 8 years ago. So I was, this is when I was doing holistic medicine kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more on the cosmetology end, like
Uh-huh.
so skin, hair, nails, makeup,
Okay.
and massage therapy. When we were in this section, I was at Starbucks and I was drinking like I guess I went too far with the coffee and I was
Uh-huh.
studying and I was just doing the thing. I was
Ooh.
great time. By the time my friend picked me up
Mm-hmm.
and we got to her house, I had the keys to open the door. I was
Mm-hmm.
like It was so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't even open the door.
What? Was espresso?
It was just regular like coffee. You know,
Wow.
I had fun with a little frappuccino with the caramel and the whipped cream. All
Yeah.
drugs, it was too much. All that
Yep.
sugar.
You have to be careful.
Yeah. There's like 3 people that
Mhm.
keep on wanting to get invited into the live. You want to see if one of them happens?
Sure. Sure. Let him in. Let's see.
All right. Okay. I have one person who asked, when I'm stressed out or had an argument with someone, sometimes I get so stressed out that they feel like they have a really tight knot in their chest.
Okay.
What should they do, or do you know what that is that's making the really tight knot in
Okay.
the chest? Like when they're arguing with people, or maybe laying down and like maybe overthinking too much or something?
Okay. So I always recommend anything that you're feeling physically like that, because we want to be absolutely sure you see a doctor first. When we rule out, make sure there's nothing going off your heart or your lungs or anything like that. But let's say the doctor says all that stuff is good. How do we go ahead and regulate? Because it could just be good old anxiety and
Right.
panic. So think of your anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10. Once we're at about a 5, literally our brain goes into fight or flight mode and starts part of it starts to shut down. So there is no saying, "Hey, calm down, everything's gonna be okay." That doesn't work.
That does
So we
not
need to
work.
do. So what you do is we start to gauge ourselves. Once we hit about a 3, this is when I need to say, you know what? I feel myself going there. Let's table this conversation for a minute. Let me come back. We'll come back to this. Let me go out and get some air. Let me go ahead and just kind of decompress. So a lot of it is about kind of monitoring ourselves and being in tune with ourselves and catching ourselves. Other thing is you want to make sure you're doing some kind of self care every day, and that's just something that you're doing at the end of your day that feels good, helps you get all the stress off of you and out of you from the day. That could be smelling essential oil, reading your favorite book, playing video games, having a cheat meal, something that you enjoy though, just
That
to get all this
sounds
stress. Because what
good.
happens is it builds up in us. So you may be at a 3 when that argument starts because you're mad about something that happened yesterday. So we're gonna get all that stuff out of us each day, kind of dump it out. Journal, whatever. Just take a hot bubble bath. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Just be 30 minutes a day. There's something for you.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, yeah. Cause I know on one of my on the top 10 like wellness things for me when I'm going
Mm-hmm.
with a lot. You already nailed a lot of them on the gun, but one of them like just going out and getting the sun hit your face,
Yes.
a walk. I don't know. It's something about it when the sun hits your face and you walk outside. Everything just feels better.
You know, well, there's something to that too. A lot of us adults, we lack vitamin D, and
Yeah.
we have deficiency because we don't drink milk or products that have a lot of vitamin D in it.
Yeah.
One of the ways we get it is from the sun.
Yeah.
So you can take supplements for it, but also if you go ahead and be careful, you may want to put some sunscreen on. I don't want you to get skin cancer. Listen to me. But spending some time out in the sun will make you feel better. Absolutely, and get some of those rays. Because when vitamin D is low, we tend to get depressed.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Next question. What are your thoughts and feelings on the difference between anxiety and depression? Because I know anxiety turns into depression and it's like the higher level. So they're asking, what is the difference between anxiety and depression?
Okay, so two different diagnoses. They can be found together. You can have both.
Yeah.
But anxiety, in a nutshell, is when we're constantly worrying about things. And that's going to be your panic attacks. If you never had a panic attack before, it feels like you're dying, folks.
Agreed.
You may feel chest compression. You may have trouble breathing. Your thoughts are racing. You may begin to sweat. And it usually goes for about a good 5 to 20 minutes. And it sucks. Um, Anxiety is being the worrying, the having what we call intrusive thoughts. So I don't want to think about work right now. I want to think about my family, but work starts coming up in my head.
Right.
We're having trouble sleeping, possibly, things like that. Depression is a period of time where we feel sad. And with depression, we may feel lethargic, that's feeling like sleepy, low energy. We may lose motivation to do things. We may get what we call anhedonia, which is a fancy way of saying the fun stuff's not fun anymore. So if I love racing cars, it just doesn't thrill me at all. I have no interest in doing it when I have anhedonia.
Right.
We may have trouble sleeping, or we may sleep excessively when we're depressed. Some people overeat or they'll undereat when they're depressed. Um, some people cry, which is okay too. I always tell people if you need to cry, let it out. That's good.
Oh,
It means something good, something coming out that needs to come out. It's a great thing. But that would be your big difference between anxiety and depression.
somebody just said, just stopping in to say hello to my favorite therapist.
Hey, how you doing? Osaski 20. Thank you very much. How you doing? Thank you for stopping by. That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
That's
Yes.
all the
I like a
love.
bunch of my
That is,
videos too. I appreciate it.
yes. Right?
Yes. I'm sorry. I read the comments.
He personally attacks
He
me every
personally texts me every day. No. Heck no. Heck no.
Heck
A lot of
no.
those videos are about me, so don't feel bad. You're not alone.
Ah, that is so awesome. Right. Sending those invites. All right. Invite. I just sent you another one on accident. Sorry.
No worries.
Right. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say some of my favorite essential oils since you already said your two favorite.
Nice.
Yeah, for like, I guess for vitality, I like
Mm-hmm.
matcha.
My,
For stress, I like kava. For sleep, I like chamomile, lavender, and peppermint. I like for
yeah.
like peppermint. I like for everything: migraines, headaches, anxiety.
Peppermint is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also like to mix it with like almond oil or like
Mm-hmm.
rose oil.
Yeah.
And I think one of my favorites in the entire world is frankincense.
Yeah.
That one makes me so happy and it just smells so amazing. I have like natural soaps with it. I have oils. I have hair products that I like to have frankincense in.
It's got a little spice to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes me feel so good. It just feels
Nice.
smells so good.
You got a question down below, and I'm glad you appreciate the humor.
Yay, does kava really work? Yes, it does, girl. It's amazing. And it tastes really good in teas or smoothies as well.
And she said, "What's a good place to get it? There's so many different kinds."
Well, I like to go online. I like to go online and order it on Amazon. They have so many brands, and you can read through things and see what you like the most. Yeah.
No, is there a difference between that and the kava they put inside the teas and the
Oh,
essential
not
oil?
really. It's the same thing. It's just a couple of different. Any recommendations for a brand? Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing, but they just make them in different ways, package them different ways.
Okay. Okay.
But any recommendations for brands? I don't have my kava with me, but I do have my alfalfa, my spirulina, and my kelp, which is another thing I'm going to get into. I'm going to get that brand right quick so you can see it. Okay, so here's my spirulina. I love this brand. Organic meat's good. It's called OMG Superfood.
OMG. Okay.
Yeah,
I read all about kava, but hasn't tried.
yeah. Ashwagandha,
Ashwagandha. Okay.
spirulina, alfalfa, kelp. Alfalfa and kelp and spirulina together, those three work amazing. And I mean, when it comes to energy, your anxiety, depression, just your overall
Really?
health, helping you lose weight and keep your body cleared out,
Okay.
amazing. Which my mom is so crazy. I'm the health freak, and my mom is not so much, but she is the one who put me on to because it was her doctors,
Uh
her
huh.
doctors, and even her regular doctors.
Uh
They were
huh.
alfalfa, spirulina, and kelp are amazing together.
Spirulina help.
She says she's
Oh,
taking ashwagandha. That's awesome.
she said she takes ashwagandha. How does the ashwagandha work for you? Does it work good?
Oh yeah, and how do you take it? Do you take it with your teeth? I guess she'll come up there soon.
I went to a kava bar once and I tried it, but it just tastes like grass to me. I didn't feel anything. But I get everybody's different. Yes, it does. It's a pill. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, works good for you. Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, I love powders. I like the powders so I can
Your
make
powder.
these, put them on,
Okay.
put them in my teeth. To me,
What's it taste like?
they just feel like they give you more from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try it.
Yes, it's so good.
Help spirulina ashwagandha. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
Okay.
also you know how you love peppermint oil? Peppermint oil is
Hmm.
good for headaches and anxiety. It's good for gut health as well. So
Really
yeah, so if you want to like mix a little natural, like an
nice. Uh
organic
huh.
oil in one of your foods, is awesome. Really
Gotcha.
gut health, and like gut
Nice.
health of course helps you clear it out. So it also helps with your mental because you don't have all those bad foods in there. So for everyone
Yeah.
who like, of course we're not trying to change your diet completely. Let's say you just eat the way you eat every day. You have Taco Bell, you have this, you have that. If you just incorporate like 3 servings of fruit a day, or every now and then incorporate 3 servings of fruit, or your favorite like healthy foods,
Hmm.
just something colorful, add some food in your face. You know, it
Nice.
it helps put it
Okay. Okay.
helps bring more oxygen to your body, just helps you feel better.
Okay.
Yeah.
The more you know. Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try it.
And of course, sleep. I know my
Yes.
yeah, my sleep
That's.
has literally been off for a month and a half, but I've
Hmm.
still been getting a good amount of sleep. It's just been at the times when I don't want it to be.
Mm.
I was in Los Angeles and Las Vegas for a month.
Hmm.
So now that I've been back for like a month and a week or a month and a half, I've been staying up past 5, 6 a.m. every.
Mm. You're thrown off.
Yeah, so sometimes I'm like going to meetings from the sleep that I already had that night,
Hmm.
and then I'll come back, I'll sleep, and I'll get up at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, or maybe 3. Most of the time, it's like 2 or 3 if I stayed up at 5 or 6. But if I go past, a couple of times I went past 10 and 11, and those
Wow.
times when I had to get up at 4 and 5.
Hmm.
But those usually the times when I stayed up at 10 and 11. I like left and went to a meeting or had to go to the nonprofit office and come.
Hmm.
But it's crazy. I'm still feeling like super energetic and like I'm getting a lot of sleep, but it's at the bad times.
Mm. So you got to go ahead and get yourself back on schedule.
Yes, I do.
It's, yeah. And you're right. Sleep is so important. That's one of the things I assess too in my initial session for everyone.
Uh huh.
I see how many hours of sleep you're getting. As you know, as adults, we should be getting anywhere between 6 to 8 hours per night.
Uh huh.
And when we don't sleep or get
Uh-oh, where you go?
more
What?
cranky, we tend to be a little more sad. What's that?
Okay. After you said after we don't sleep, after that?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I said it throws our whole mood off. So we tend to be more
Yeah.
irritable. We tend to be, our thought processes be a lot slower. We tend to be more depressed, more pessimistic. So it's so important to be getting enough sleep. Eating and sleeping. The
Yeah.
same thing with eating meals. 3 meals a day at least. 2 to 3 meals a day is what we should be averaging. If
Right.
we're hungry
It
or tired, it's going to throw your mood off.
definitely been messing up my meals. I've been
Yeah?
having I've been having it incorporated. So as soon as I get up, I'll have a
Good.
banana or a
Good.
key
Good.
because I've only been cooking like one good time. So like I was
Hmm.
incorporating the fruit and incorporating another fruit so I can still
Good.
eat time of day. But
And that's great. Even if you're doing something small like that, like say I hear people say, "Oh, I don't have time to eat in the morning. I'm in such a rush." Even if you just grab a piece of fruit and bring
yeah.
it with you, just get something on your stomach. It's better than nothing.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. So she says fruit is let me see before I go that far.
Thank you
It's
for the
cap-
likes.
it's capsule with the powder inside. Fruit is nature's candy. My favorite.
Yes, it is.
Mine too. My very favorite. My accent, that was so horrible. My very favorite.
I got you. I got you.
Um, Pineapple, strawberries, watermelons. Oh my! You just named three of my favorite fruit. All you have to do is add mango on there and blueberries, and we're all good. Hello, Thor. Welcome, Thor. But yes, thank you guys for all the likes. Wow, we went from 49 to 286.
Hey, nice. Thank you guys. Um, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And I think that we as people, especially as people of color, we tend to neglect both, but especially our mental health. We're taught that we have to be so strong, and we deal with a lot. There's a lot going on in the world. I don't need to get into all in it. We all know. Um, it's
Right.
important for us to talk about our feelings, for us to support each other, to reach out, to get help. If you're in
Right.
Florida, I would be happy to work with you. If you're not in Florida, that's okay too. You're more than welcome to reach out to me, and I'll help direct you somewhere where you can get help.
Or you can help them just like this online. There's a
Or
lot
I
of
can
different.
help you just like this. There's that too. But
Right.
put your mental health first. I promise you, if you don't take care of your mental health, your body will suffer for it. Whether it be heart problems, whether you're tired, whether it ages you, your diet, it's all tied into one another. You
Yes.
can't separate the two, and we'll catch up to you.
Yeah. And speaking of heart problems, one herb that's really good for
Mm-hmm.
your is hawthorn.
Hawthorn, really? Okay. What's it do?
It helps with the regulation of, like, you know how, like, you have the pain in
Mm-hmm.
your, and kind of just like how some of the people have the tight knots with the anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of relaxes your body and regulates
Really?
your mood.
Okay. I want to look
Yeah,
into that. Hawthorn, nice.
yeah. Because I'm
Very nice.
kind of like that person who asked that question. So I was so happy when I seen that pop up on my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe I was the only one. Sometimes,
No.
and it
Mm-hmm.
sucks because sometimes I'll be asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll have to get up and I'll like stretch, and
Mm-hmm.
I like really good meditation music on. I don't know if you can hear
Yeah.
it now. It's still playing,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll get up and drink a bottle of water, and I'll just
Yeah.
stand and move around a little bit, and then I'll lay back down and I'll feel great. But I don't know
Huh.
where that comes from.
And that may
I
be.
know it's acid reflux
Doesn't
sometimes.
say, yeah, that may be indigestion.
Yeah, sometimes it can be with the salad and the fruit. It's too much acid
Mm-hmm.
in the body, and you have to clear that out. But some
Mm-hmm.
stress too. That's,
Sometimes it's that. Yep.
yeah,
Especially if you're getting it when you're asleep, that may be indigestion.
yeah,
So be careful what you're eating before you sleep as well, and don't lay down immediately after eating.
right. At least wait. I tell people to usually wait an hour before you do that.
Yeah.
And also another thing to help with your mental. This is one another thing that I wrote down, and I realized that it is. I learned it from a few physical therapists, but I also read about it a lot, and it does help because this is why I wear blue blockers a lot, like my glasses with the blue
Uh huh.
blockers. I'm always
Okay.
I'm always around electronics consistently. All of us, the, I,
Mm-hmm.
the iPhone, the laptop, my tablet. I'm working off of three electricities like all day.
Right.
So from 1 hour to 4 hours, if you can do
Mm-hmm.
4 hours, most people
Okay.
do 4 hours. Stay away from electronics before
Yep.
bed. It
Absolutely.
it literally works. It helps big time. Try to place, like, if you play music through the night, like me, I play like
Mm-hmm.
singing bowls, and I do a lot of meditation, so I keep a lot of meditation music playing all the time, just
Mm-hmm.
like right now. I don't know if it's low or if you guys can hear it, but yeah, I kind of like place one of my bench chairs because I have like four of them in here. I place one like at the end of the bed, and I'll keep the laptop there with the music playing because I don't want the electricity right by me because I sometimes I fall asleep working, and I might fall asleep with too much
Yep.
electricity around me, and that's really not healthy for my mental health at all.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Especially for my folks out there that sleep the TV on. That's another no no. I know
Yeah.
some people say I can't sleep without it. So what happens is your subconscious is actually still partially
What?
listening to that TV and watching it, so to speak. Yeah, it's we don't get our deep sleep like we need. So try music.
That's
So
totally.
peaceful music is a lot better if you can turn that TV off. You'll get a much better sleep. I promise you.
Yes, music is way better. Yeah, but I used to be that TV person. Yes,
Me too.
I would
Me
love
too.
to throw on a movie and fall asleep, but I could still hear the movie while I'm sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely had to stop doing that. I stopped that about, I would say, 7, 8 years ago.
Wordless background sounds on my favorite. Yeah. Same here. I like the sounds of nature stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like the root chakra sleep meditations or the
Nice.
spiritual vibrations. Those are like so amazing.
Nice.
And then they have this one on YouTube called All Seven Chakras Opening as you sleep. I let
Mm-hmm.
it play. Oh, that one feels so good going to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wake up, it's still playing because it's like 14 hours long.
See, the YouTube stuff gets me though, because then the commercials will pop in,
Oh, I have
and
the,
that wake me up. Oh, you pay for it.
yeah, I have the premium, so it doesn't stop.
Nice.
But let me tell you something. If you do that, because I just literally got the premium like not
Mm-hmm.
even months ago, all you
Okay.
have to do is type in, hold on, I have one that's my favorite and it's right at the beginning. Type in 7 hour, I mean, like meditation music without
Uh huh.
ads. So if you type
Without
in
it.
without ads,
Okay.
it'll give you a whole list of them without ads.
Nice.
And they'll play the whole time you're asleep. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Sometimes
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. So sometimes I do my favorite soul and R
Uh
and
huh.
B, and then like if I get up to go to the restroom, then I'll switch it to my meditation, or sometimes I'll just listen to the meditation all night, and it just gives me the best sleep in the world. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. You
What's the
know,
lollipop do?
oh, how cute is that? There's a there's people coming in, all kinds of people.
Hey.
Hi, Jessica. Hi. I
Hey,
guess
people.
coming in and out, but it's still great. How are y'all?
Rebecca. What's going on, Rebecca?
This person is asking, what are your thoughts? Are writing down your feelings if you don't want to speak with anybody at the moment about your depression.
I think that's awesome. I think that's a great start.
Great stuff.
Um, well, and for some people, it's enough. And you may not necessarily need a therapist or need medication. I'm all for whatever works as long as it doesn't hurt anybody.
Right.
Somebody else, it may be yoga, and that may be what gets them out of their depression. And I'm cool with that too. That's okay.
Yeah.
Somebody else may need all of it.
Right.
I'd say it's a great start, just in case if you do need something more, but it may be enough. One of the things we know about journaling is that the more senses that we use to process things, the more it tends to get out and the more we tend to retain. So
Right.
it's great for you to write it because you're using more parts of your brain while you do it. And if you're not a writer, but you're artsy, paint, draw. That's
Right.
okay. You can do something artsy, but make something. That's cool. That's okay. Use that creative part of your brain. That's good. Thoughts
Thought.
on sane and 5-HTP? I'm not sure what that is.
What's the 5-HTP part? Right. Hello, Danny boy. How are you? I love some of these screen names.
Oh, I'm so terrible at reading them. I can't see anything. My eyes so big, they're so small.
Keep taking my glasses on and off because I want them off because I just feel like I love to see everything in an open.
Yeah,
I love the blue blockers because when my eyes start to hurt, they really help. Like
I got you.
you can't feel anything.
Rebecca, do you know anyone that's had experience with the same in the 5-HTP? Have you heard any like success stories? It's an alternative for antidepressant. That would be really cool.
I have these cats on 30 seconds. Let me see if they're coming. Oh yeah, no.
It's
Okay,
my
no.
water rack.
I really want to know about that too. I'm waiting on Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some
That
research on it. Yeah.
sounds so interesting.
Hey, Georgina.
I'm gonna look into that when we get off the phone. Thank you guys for 791 votes. I mean likes.
Nice.
we're,
Thank you.
we're like jumping high. It goes from 49 to 298.
Yeah, they're trickling in. That's awesome.
Any books that are like books that are very inspirational to you? Like, what are some books that were great for your self care, or even just in general, just books that you enjoy?
Hmm. See, I tend to read a lot of I tend to read a lot of books on how to do stuff. So I don't really read storybooks, unfortunately. I want to get back into that. Um, Great book though. Let's see if I have it here behind me. I don't have it behind me. But the DBT skills workbook is great. DBT or dialectical behavioral therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's a type of therapy intervention, but you don't have to be in therapy to get the workbook or do it on your own. It's like $20. You can get it on Amazon. And it works great if you're the kind of person that deals with a lot of anxiety, or if your person's kind of very black and white in your thinking. They have some
Right.
great exercises in it that will help. Absolutely. The Body Keeps the Score is one of your all-time favorites. I try to get to the Body Keeps the Score, and I know I need to read it as a clinician, and I specialize in trauma. I don't hold my attention. But it is like the Bible on trauma. If you're interested in learning about it, I have had some clients that told me they've read it. They have said that there are some parts that can kind of triggering, so to be kind of careful.
It was a
But
game
yes, it's a game changer. I know I gotta get through it.
changer.
The Power of Now is another great book.
The Power of Now.
If you're the Power of Now. If you struggle with anxiety, it's all about mindfulness and kind of staying present in the moment, not letting yourself stress out. And I've heard clients have a wonderful time with reading it as well.
I think that would be one that I would be extremely interested in because I have gotten really good at doing that. I have
Yeah,
gotten really good at doing that over the I would just say
yeah,
maybe over the last 9, 10 years. I've been traveling by myself since I was about 17 and a half, going on 18. I've been traveling the world like solo for
nice. Uh huh.
20 years. So I had to grow up fast.
Nice.
So, what about books like The Secret and things like that? Do you like those type of books?
I do. The Power of Now is kind of like something along those lines.
Okay.
Rebecca says the best yes is another good one,
Oh,
and
yes, I think I've read some
that
of.
is Amazing Brave. Yeah. You said your women listen to it on Audible monthly. Which one? The Body Keeps the Score, Rebecca? Your women listen to that one on Audible? That is pretty brave, by the way. Yes. Do all that traveling.
We should see.
Yes, Body Keeps the Score. Wow. Okay. You know what? That might be an easier way for me to consume it. I feel like I'm cheating in a sense by doing it, but yeah. This is why they do other activities at their home where they feel safe. Okay, I love that idea. That's great. You know what's a good one? Louise Hay House's You Can Heal Your Life. And they've republished that so many times. Great book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Talks all about manifesting, the law of attraction, how your thoughts create what you want in life. Really good book. I'm gonna try listening to Body Keeps the Score. That's a great idea, Rebecca. Thank you. You love that one too? Yes. Awesome book. I'm gonna try doing it on Audible. That's a great idea. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm cheating, but maybe that's a better way to consume it.
I'm
Just trying to scroll up through the messages and I actually scrolled out. They're real by accident. I'm sorry.
really enjoying this live. Like I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I'm enjoying it way more than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, this is
Me too.
fun. Yeah, I had a really awesome interview with Quincy TV a little less than a month ago, and we were talking
Yeah.
about public relations and marketing. Oh yeah, I sent you
Really?
see it, a part of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. You did send that to me. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, she is awesome. She has interviewed Whitney Houston, which is like the love of my life.
Wow.
Shaka Khan, everybody. Oh, so many people. So many people. And I'm like, dude, that is so awesome. I want to do the same thing, but
Yeah.
on a lower scale, like
Mm-hmm.
more so like organizations, independent artists like singers, dancers, models, actors,
Nice.
people trying to start organizations, therapists, teachers that are like well known and they're like building some other
Mm-hmm.
platform. So that's my next question. Is there anything that because I know you've started the show and you have like these little skits that are almost like act.
Uh-huh.
Um, I know that's to bring some light and some fun to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Plan on like building the brand like more? Is there something extra that you're keeping secret that you're going to be doing shortly about your therapy?
So I initially started because I'm putting together a course right now for coach on boundaries.
Uh huh.
So that's why a lot of times the topics kind of revolve around that. Still not ready to put it out yet. We're still doing some finishing touches on things. I'm also going to be doing a podcast with a colleague of mine. We're working on that as well. I'm working on the course of the podcast, is what I was saying, though, in a nutshell. And once those are up and running, I definitely will keep you guys posted because I want all of you to listen and tune in.
And so, what are some things that you guys are going to be like talking about on your podcast, or like what are the main goals of the podcast?
So I am kind of like my specialty is helping people that have relationships with narcissists. And my colleague, her specialty is helping people that suffer with borderline personality disorder. So we're going to be kind of merging the two topics together and kind of addressing just navigating relationships with those diagnoses, navigating life, all kinds of topics surrounding it. Talk about trauma, what causes it, all that good stuff. So we're going to try to make it fun. We're going to try to make it quirky, to not too technical and boring. Yes, mental health is accessible for a lot of us. A lot of times people think that mental health is not something they can afford, mental health counseling or anything like that. Know that there's all kinds of resources out there. There's a great website called Open Path Collective. And Open Path Collective, what it is a collection of therapists that agree to see you on a sliding scale based off of your income. So you can do that. A lot of times your health insurance will cover mental health therapy because a lot of people don't realize that as well. So call your insurance company if you have health insurance. And a lot of companies that we work for have what's called an employee assistance program or EAP. And what it is that you go to your HR, they have the EAP program set up where they agree to give you usually anywhere between 3 to 6 therapy sessions for you to kind of work on stuff. Yes, Open Path Collective. Thank you for putting it down there.
Can someone
Um,
pin that comment? Can someone pin Open Path Collective, please?
um,
Alrighty.
but check out your company's employee assistance program, and they'll usually pay for you to have 3 to 6 sessions. You're joining the conversation. Awesome. We're
Oh,
enjoying having you here, Rebecca.
we definitely do. We enjoy all the rest of you coming in and out too.
We do. Thank you.
Because I saw one person, they came back like 4 times, the same person.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. 2.6 likes. Thank you, everyone.
Hey.
That's 2,100. Good Lord. How are we doing that?
Wow. Right? That's awesome.
All right. So, setting boundaries. Can we talk about some tips on setting boundaries? Because I know for me, only thing I want to say is set boundaries for what you want to be around. Set boundaries for the type of conversations you want to have and the type of people you want to
Mm-hmm.
be around. That, for real, is a major thing with our mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Could be either a
Absolutely.
problem or something that's amazing and that is not a problem.
Yep.
Energy, everything.
I,
Right around you is
yep.
everything.
I think the key is keeping in mind that our needs are just as important as everyone else's. So a lot of times when we struggle with boundaries, it's because we're kind of putting other people's feelings first. Or I don't want to hurt this person or make them uncomfortable or anything like that. but what you want and what you need is just as important. And setting a boundary doesn't have to mean that there's a conflict, but it just means that it's not about making them respect you, it's about how you respect yourself. And
Right.
people respect us when they see that we respect ourselves. So, a couple tips: no is a sentence. You don't have to explain anything. I can just tell you no. It took me
I,
28 years of life to learn that. Was
I'm
that?
gonna now no is a sentence, and I'm gonna post it on
It,
Facebook. I learned this today,
it,
you guys.
it is. It really is. You don't have to explain yourself whatsoever to anyone. You can
Right.
just say no. Um, and as a matter of fact, when we go to explaining, it gives more leeway, more room for people to push the boundary.
Right.
Um, so if I say no, I'm not going to give you a ride because I'm tired. Well, but it's only a short ride. If I just say no, you got no room to rebuttal, right?
Hallelujah.
Um,
Says exactly.
exactly. It's true. It's true. So no is a sentence. Another thing is if you want to get your needs met, and you want to give them an explanation, always acknowledge the other person's feelings first. Even if you don't mean it, it's okay. But everyone wants to feel like they're hurt. So if I acknowledge your feelings first, if you're angry, I say, you know what? I know you're angry right now, and I'm sorry about that. I just want to work on us finding a solution together. It's a lot easier for you to listen to me just saying, I want us to work on finding a solution together. See
Right.
how the other one lessens the blow? Now your guards comes down because you're feeling like you're being hurt.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
validate the other person's feelings first. Whenever you're in a fight or debate, argument, negotiating, it's so important. You can
Yeah.
diffuse the situation very easily that way.
Yeah. I definitely get upset about that, but I've learned to like just brush it off, and it takes me like less than 5 minutes to get over it. But I cannot stand when I'm trying to explain something.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you not want to ever explain yourself again, where you try to explain yourself to people, and while you're talking, they cut you off. That is the worst thing in the world to me. I cannot
It
stand being
is.
really cut off and not heard and not understood
Absolutely.
a lot. And I get that from a lot of people. They cannot stand not being heard. But if you're
It's
not,
important.
I'm not trying to hear you.
Exactly. So when we're not listening, exactly, people go on the defensive, like Rebecca said. I
Yes.
felt like if I only explain when I felt lesser than the other person. Oh,
Ooh.
ooh,
That's it right there. Yeah. So yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. Anything else on the setting the boundaries?
and setting boundaries. Hmm. No, I think that's what covers it. Those
Yeah.
are the
That's
key points.
all right. So for meditation, do you? What did they say? It's kind of ebonically written, so let me just say this:
It's okay.
do do you meditate?
Do I meditate?
How
Um,
your ways of meditation? Because it doesn't always have to be somebody who does yoga or someone who listens to the singing bowl. Some people's meditation is just their favorite music or their favorite book. How do you?
absolutely.
They want to know how you meditate, and they said this question is for the therapist.
Okay. Oh wow. Specifically. Okay.
Specifically,
Um.
not me, not anybody else.
Right. For me, it's always about me and my behavior. I'll walk away before I fight or argue. Absolutely. That's about respecting your own self, Rebecca. Yep.
Yeah.
How do I meditate? So occasionally I will do yoga. I need to do more. I've been saying that for years now because it actually is good and relaxing. It's just hard for me to slow down though. But a lot of times for me, just getting in that zone is music, like you were saying. And my car rides, that's my time to go and jam out and do karaoke and all that stuff. That's usually kind of when I'm in my deepest thoughts.
Oh my.
Um, I'll write too, just kind of what's going on in my head. That helps for me. That's just a form of meditation for me. So it doesn't have to be sitting there like a lot of people
Right.
think that cross leg. It doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
And find kind of what works for you. It's long as you're slowing down. A great trick for a lot of clients that I use is mindfulness. So that's just being in tune with your senses. Okay, I'm eating this apple right now. What does the apple taste like? Okay, I'm gonna pay attention to each chew that I'm doing. What does it smell like? Is it juicy? Literally tuning in to exactly what you're doing in that moment.
Right.
Take your mind off of all the other chatter in your head.
Right. All right. That's great. That's that's exactly what I wanted to get out and have people to hear because everyone thinks, "Oh, you do meditation." Oh, no, a meditation can be so. There's so many forms of meditation.
Right. Well, sorry.
People do. Some people meditate with a singing bowl. Some people meditate through yoga. Some people meditate just by literally sitting in silence and thinking,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of my favorite. I love to just sit in the silence. Maybe I may have my meditation music playing in the background, but sometimes I even block that out and I'm just sitting in silence,
Yeah.
in tune with myself and digging in there and figuring out what I want to do next. Even if I'm planning a new
Mm-hmm.
or what I want to, the next trip I'm going on, what I want to wear. Like it could be anything.
Yep.
Or an argument I had with a family member or a friend.
Yeah. One of my personal favorites is sitting by water.
Oh
And
my,
everyone thinks it has to be the beach. It doesn't have even have to be the beach. If you can find a pond, a lake, but
right.
sitting next to some water, it does do something to you, and it will lift that stress off of you. Don't
Yes.
ask me how the science behind it. I don't know, but it does work. Reflective awareness for those who don't like the term meditation. Oh, I like that. Reflective
Yes.
awareness. Yes.
Thank you, girl. She dropping gems in the chat.
Yeah, she is. You got to interview her next.
Yes, reflective awareness and self care. If you want to just call
Yep.
it simple self care, take time for yourself. 30 minutes to a day. If you can do an hour of self care for yourself. Your favorite anything, even if it's cooking. Some people like. I have an auntie like she just loves to clean her kitchen and just get in there with her music and just cook, and that's meditation for her.
Yep.
And I love it because her food is good.
How'd you get into this?
How did I get into wanting to help people, or
Mm-hmm.
what? Like which part? The PR, the marketing, the organization type work, or just this?
Just wanting to help people.
Because I just love to hear people's journeys, and I love to learn from other people,
Mm-hmm.
especially people that like really help people. So like therapists, teachers, doctors, people in the world that are trying to help make this world better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just been something I've been passionate about ever since I was a kid because I had a father. Dang, I just realized my dad comes up in all my lives, but
Yeah.
he had a recording studio called Jam Time Productions,
Mm-hmm.
and we grew up around. I have four brothers and four sisters, so one of them is in the Philippines, so he's not usually with us or ever
Mm-hmm.
with us, but we still count him. So yeah, I have eight brothers and sisters, and
Wow.
grew up in the studio, hanging out with my dad, singing and dancing, watching him how he would put us in talent shows, and they would be part of organizations. They would be part of like rec centers and libraries, like the West Las Vegas Library. Uh, like the Dare Truck and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Kids off of drugs, and I don't know. I just always had fun. Like it was a part of my life. Like music, organizational work, like helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
It was always a part of our life in some form or fashion. Like it was just so. I think it just grew on me, and it's just something that I enjoy doing because sometimes people just want the spotlight on themselves.
Right.
I think we all like the spotlight on ourselves. Like I like the spotlight on myself, but I like the spotlight on myself with a group of people. Like I like collaboration. I love collabing with people. Like even my business, that is like pretty much what my business is. Lucas
Mm-hmm.
Lucas Entertainment Models and Artists is um, a company where we have a collective of independent artists that come together, and I help get them booked for events and work.
Oh,
So like
nice.
I do is involved in collaboration with someone. Like, of course, I have to take care of all the business of my work myself, but like the events, I have to have a group of people. I have to have people.
Right.
So yeah, I just love collaboration, and it makes you very diverse in culture and awareness. it also keeps you busy. Like you're always helping with something, whether it be an event, whether it be, just needing to talk to someone, whether it be taking care of all of their like personal assistant type of work. It's just help.
It's
So
awesome.
yeah, but I guess it just comes from my mom and my dad because my mother is very much so like that too. Like I grew up in a house where I was like basically her only child,
Hmm.
but until like of course my other sister came, but she always had other kids in the house. Like she was always taking care of somebody else's child. And like even one of my friends actually became her adopted daughter. So I actually have 9 brothers and sisters.
Wow,
Um, if you count her as well. Shout out to Tamika. But yeah. So yeah, I just always both of my parents are people that help people all the time.
that's beautiful.
I guess it just became a part of who I am. But sometimes there's so much to a default where they're helping people more than they needed to, and it probably was helping
Mm,
a toll on their mental health, probably.
right.
I know my mom, yeah, when I was younger, my mom was balling out of control all the time. But I mean, as we got older, I'm sure when she had less money, she was still doing the same things that she was doing when she was balling
Wow.
out of control. So I know that had to be stressful.
Of course.
Because I mean, whew, I start realizing how hard life is as an adult, like paying bills
Yeah.
at around 12. Yeah. I was like, sheesh, good lord. Like my father, we would do these talent shows, and we're in like a big old. He always bought a van. I don't know my dad to ever
Hmm.
had a regular car. Like right now, he has a shuttle bus and a limo. And when we were growing up, he always had a van because we needed the van to put the big studio speakers for our
Hmm.
talent shows, like the talent shows at the library, at the concerts, at the park. So we would take like those big old school speakers, and sometimes my dad would have a van full of people, and even if he was buying everyone a dollar burger, that's spending like $20, $30 2 to 3
Yeah.
times a day, 2 to 3 times a day just to feed your
Ooh.
kids, everybody else's kids.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I got into it. I think it's something I've been doing since I was little. And when I got older, I was like, I want my own business. I just knew I wanted my own business. I knew I wanted to travel the world, and I knew I didn't want to work like normal work. Like I
Hmm.
would always pick up normal work on and off through the
Hmm.
years of my life, but it would be like gig work or contracts. But I knew that I just wanted to be in the entertainment industry, but I didn't want to be like the solo star. I kind of wanted to be like the person in the entertainment industry making things happen.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm still on that journey, trying to make it every day.
Good for you.
Yeah. What
Keep
about
doing
you?
that.
What about you? How did you? That's a great question. How did you get into what you're doing? Why you want to help people so much?
I always loved helping people, and I always felt like if we treat the world as it should be, we could show it what it could be.
That's a great
Um,
question.
so for like if we show more compassion to one another, if we help people, if we come together, as
Right.
kumbaya as that sounds,
Right.
good things happen. It's nice to be nice. So I've been like that since I was a kid.
Oh, that's awesome. And did you get it mainly from your mom, your dad, aunties, uncles, or just like your whole collective as a family?
I think it was just me, honestly. 'Cause my mom and dad, like, I mean, they're not bad people, but they weren't altruistic like that, if I recall. My mother says that her mother was like that, but I never met her. She passed before I was born, so um, yeah, I think it's just been my personality trait I've had. So my grandfather was very giving. I think that he was very well off, but he just, yeah, he was very, very giving. So maybe that's what comes from. Never thought about that.
I don't know if I could prove that, but I think some of this, I don't know. You have like all these different minds. There's some people that are more like just self, Some people are like the organizational type of people, like people that want to help people, and then you have the in between. And I'm like, is
Mhm.
it genetic? Is it genetic? Do you know if has anybody ever asked you that? That was another question I wondered that too.
So in psychology, we go back and forth on what's called the nature versus nurture debate. So
Yeah.
is our personality formed from genetics and biology, or is it formed from experience? Logical, but then they'll have differences too because they have different experiences, and our experiences form who we are as well, or help to form who we are. So it just depends, honestly. And some of it's just society that you're in. So, like for instance, we're in the U.S. We are a what do we call it? Crap. There's one. We're not a collectivist. We're an individualistic society. So, for instance, we're kind of taught that my family is my family. There was my study with shotgun cherry blossoms. First response experience showed up. Interesting.
Girl, you have all the
Interesting. She got all the
good.
studies.
Screenshot that so I'll remember that too. I'm about to
That's
research all this stuff. I
and that goes back to
love.
trauma being locked in the body. Yeah. Um, but we're individualistic society, so we're taught that every man for himself. My family is the one that's most important. Other cultures, if you were to go like to an Asian culture, or if you go to Haiti, they're a collectivist society. So it's kind of like we work together. It's not just my family; the whole city is a family, and we look out for each other. So some of it's just societal, kind of what we're taught too. I mean, look at. I'm not going to get into that; it's too political, but yeah, and just kind of how we're taught, and we're as Americans, honestly, we're kind of taught to be
You
selfish.
said I'm not gonna get political. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I was just thinking about like, I mean, the debates with, like, we can't come to an agreement on these guns, for instance, and these school shootings, and there's some people that say, well, that's not my problem, and some people say, well, no, we have to do something about it.
Like it is all of
But
our problem. Yeah.
right, right. For 6 generations, even though those generations did not have the experience. Wow, that's pretty heavy. This is my study with shock and cherry blossoms. First generation response experience showed up for 6 generations, even though those generations did not have the experience. Genetics is powerful.
You
That's
have
wild.
that? Do you have the link to that, Rebecca? Can you put the link in there?
Yeah, I want to see that, Rebecca.
Yeah, put
Or
the
what
link
that's called, that
there,
study.
like, and pin it to the. Do you know how to pin to the live? I know a lot of lives I watch. They're always like, pin it to the bottom. They're always asking their followers to pin it. Okay, we've got time. I'm here for this. I cleared my schedule for this meeting.
Let me look. And we can always do it again if we need to. No biggie.
Right. I mean, yeah, definitely. Like whenever you have a topic, let's start doing these amazing lives together because it's quite fun
Cool. Cool.
and
I'm
it's
down.
healthy, healthy to talk about.
Absolutely.
So I know that you did a video on panic attacks,
Hmm.
and I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but could you go into that a little bit?
So panic attacks essentially happen when, well, really, parental olfactory experience influences behavior, neurostructure, in subsequent generations. Wow. Okay. After experience influences behavior and neural structure in subsequent generations. Okay, gotcha. Panic attacks essentially will happen when the brain gets triggered and it thinks that we are in danger. Um, the problem is the trigger could be something small or it could be something big. So it could be your brain linking the fact that you saw something traumatic happen a long time ago. You were wearing a red shirt, and now you're seeing someone else in a red shirt right now. It's called a trigger. So logically, you may not put two and two together, but your brain is able to. And what happens is your brain says, okay, you are in danger. We need to go into fight or flight mode right now. You need to either run or you need to fight this. So you start producing more adrenaline, more cortisol, all these hormones to help to prepare you for battle. One thing you can do for it is to kind of embrace it.
Right.
So,
Let's go. And
that's literally go into, sink into it. And I know that sounds counterproductive, but actually, for instance, like, you ever go to the dentist and they say, don't clench up,
right.
relax, relax. It's the
Right.
same kind of idea here. The
Yeah.
more you tighten, the more you get in the defensive, the harder it's going to be for you. So the more you fight that panic attack, I don't want to have a panic attack. I don't want to have a panic attack. You're going to have a panic attack.
Makes it hard. And then you start getting
Exactly.
chest and then the stomach. Your head
Right.
hurts.
Even
Oh
simpler
man.
way, if I tell you don't think of a pink elephant, you're going to think of a pink elephant. It's just going to pop in your head. That's how our brains work. So sometimes
Right.
if you just kind of embrace it rather than fight it, it'll go a lot smoother and it'll go over a lot quicker. But the good news is that our brains are powerful, so we can use it for the opposite also. So I
Yeah.
have people say I have all these self doubts and these things about myself I don't like. The more you repeat and practice thinking that positive, you finding an opposite thought to it, the more it's become second nature for you. So think of your brain as like a computer. It's been programmed. You're working to reprogram it. You're resetting those neural pathways, as Rebecca pointed out earlier.
I think that question was answered good enough when they see this. That I think that'll be a great answer for them. I'm sure.
Cool.
Sure, we possibly like hit on that. We could
All
do
right,
like a
let's.
triple team.
Yeah. We should sit down and come up with some ideas. I'm here for it.
All right, well, let me know whenever you guys are down. And we are to 3,500 likes. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty, so I
Oh,
had a great time talking with you all. Have a great night.
likewise. Thank you for having me. Good night. Thank you for coming, everybody.
All
Thanks for your great
righty.
questions. Hey, take care.
All right, take care.
Bye bye.
All right, everyone, that's the end of our show. We will be back with you soon. Rebecca, myself, and your favorite therapist will all be on another live. So you guys join in, okay?